You're listening to Not the Sermon with Eric and Jamie.
All right, what's going on, Sermonots?
Sermonots.
You are listening to Not the Sermon.
Not the sermon.
Where we take theology
Theology.
and comedy.
No.
What? You sound like a street corner hussy is what you sound like.
Wow. Okay.
But anyways, yeah, Not the Sermon, where I feel like we need to start telling people what the podcast's about.
Yeah.
Like maybe new listeners.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
Not the Sermon is two pastors and their audio engineer talking about all things theology, comedy, and culture.
Yeah.
In a format that's not the sermon, because if you're a Christian, you really don't have a lot of options when it comes to podcasts. You either have to listen to the Duck Dynasty people talk about things that they don't understand anymore because they've been rich for 20 years, or you have to listen to sermons all the time.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So,
we found that although sermons offer great spiritual content, sometimes they can be a little boring.
yeah, they can be really boring, and then you get caught on listening to only the really motivation-y, inspirational guys,
Yeah.
and then you're judging your pastor. It's almost like you've been married to someone, and then you go to you're walking outside and you start eyeing other women, and then you come home and
It's not like that at all for me.
Sorry.
Eric and I both love comedy, and we found that there's no blend of comedy and theology. Like you have Christian comedy, right? You have non-Christian comedy, and then that's it. But to do Christian comedy and also blend in, talk about real life theological issues and doctrinal issues. We couldn't find it anywhere, so we thought, let's do it ourselves.
You have these Christian comedians that are like, yeah, so me and my wife and 8 kids went to Costco this past week. What an adventure. And guess what? Little Jimmy's button down was off one button.
And I had so many samples that I didn't have to eat dinner that night.
So yeah, that's not the sermon. So I have a funny one though for you.
No, you don't.
So this morning, you have never seen disrespect until you've been to a church bathroom on Monday morning.
That's so true.
People do not care on Sunday mornings.
I'm like, are y'all blind?
That a coffee shop coffee hits, that breakfast bagel starts burning. Anyways, and they treat church bathrooms like they would never treat their home bathroom.
That's true.
But anyways, I go into the bathroom this morning, and on the back of one of the toilets, I see an empty communion pot. So some poor soul was stuck on the John during communion this past Sunday.
Just
and was like, why not?
He's just
Out with the old, in with the new.
he's just sitting there. He's like, "Yes, Lord, I receive your body. I
Golly.
receive your blood."
He's like, I receive your body as this breakfast burrito is rejecting me.
Wow.
Jeez.
So yeah, I just thought it's like things you see. That's the only place you would see a communion pod is in a church bathroom.
It's kind of like a red Solo cup at a bar bathroom.
At a party
Yeah,
or
we've
something. And so I just walked in there and I was like, I guess this is what's going on.
I mean, it's better to take communion than to not, right?
Yeah, so that was my funny. How's everybody else doing this morning? So first, I want everybody to know Phoenix was late this morning. The lateness has spread like a virus.
It's contagious.
Yeah, he was a solid 20 minutes late.
I had
too.
a good excuse. I was up till about midnight mixing a demolition derby, which
sounds
was like one of the coolest jobs
How
I've
do you
ever done.
mix a demolition derby?
So it's
You
scripted.
sit there and unmute a microphone and then sit there and watch it the entire night.
And then you run the overall volume fader all the way up so that you can hear over the loud cars.
we
Is
were
that right?
we were definitely maxing every part of that system
Oh,
out.
I bet.
Do you have to
I can only
put
imagine.
serious question? Do you have to put gates and stuff on it, or would that make it
Yes.
too clippy?
Yeah, I did, especially because the guy kept setting the microphone down and it would feed back every time he did it.
Bro, let's talk sound for a second. So I was at a pastor's conference these last few days. Fantastic conference. My wife and I went. Very good. They had a really high gate on the drum set.
Explain to them what a gate
Okay,
is.
a gate is basically a volume limiter. Like you have to reach a certain dB level for the sound to punch through.
For it even to come through. Like
For it
if
to
I
come-
walk away from the mic and then I come up,
Exactly.
now you hear me.
It
Exactly.
automatically mutes it if it's too quiet.
Yeah.
It's basically.
Or too
Yeah.
loud. It'll clip it if it's too loud, right? Or
That's
no?
a compressor.
Oh.
But it can. But if you've got a very loud instrument with a lot of natural reverb, it'll make it sound a little bit different than it just does naturally. And so the drum sounded so weird and boxy. It also messes with the EQ, I think.
It does.
Is that true?
That's why I don't usually heavily gate drums. A lot of people do, and that can be like a stylistic choice too.
They've been heavily gated for too long.
Well, I didn't like the
I think
style.
they need freedom.
Yeah, if done poorly, you can very quickly ruin a drum mix with that.
Yeah. So, but worship was incredible. It was really good. I'll tell you what's been going on. I know. Sound tech stuff. I will tell the listener this, and pastors. I know we've got pastors who listen. Man, I've been getting roasted by my congregation.
Oh, yes.
Ever since Sunday.
Yes. Can I set it up?
Set it up, man.
Okay, so we're doing a sermon series called How to Read the Bible.
Yeah.
And in preparation for this, we have been putting almost all of our resources, like advertising, everything, to get our people to bring their Bibles
That's right.
to church. And we even purchased a bunch of Bibles in case people forgot theirs, so that as we're going through the sermons, they can follow with us through the message.
Right.
And so lead us to this. What happened to you, Jamie?
The very first Bible reference I have on the screen.
The first slide on the screen.
I've got the wrong reference.
Oh, God. And me and your wife are sitting on the front row like, do we tell him?
Yeah, I wish you would have.
Well, I didn't want to throw you off.
Well, that's okay. I saw y'all talking, and I knew something was up, and I looked at you.
Wow, that's gross.
Jeez, hold on.
I know we're all recovering from throat
There's
junk.
something crawling out of Jamie's mouth right now. Bless him, Lord.
Bless him, Lord. All right, so let me start that over. I'm sitting there. I'm seeing you talk to my wife and laugh, and I look at you and I'm like, what? Like, what's going on? And then you look at me like, never mind.
Yeah.
So I just keep going. But yeah, I wish you just said something.
Yeah.
Because some people. So I'm getting roasted because everyone, like immediately after the sermon,
They're like, our pastor's an idiot.
Yeah, I've received multiple texts. Well, here's the bottom line.
At least they knew. At least they read their Bibles and knew.
If you need to go to a church where the pastor doesn't mess up in this way, like, don't come to this church. I'm not that guy. I am detail averse. I don't pay attention to details, and so sad trombone all day long, bro.
He's very human.
So yeah. So now by the time this releases, I will have already addressed this to the congregation. But I'm just going to say, look, I'm sorry. But this is case in point. This is exactly why you need to look up every verse.
So are you going to cut off your pinky this upcoming Sunday as a sign of like sorrow and?
I'm going to cut off my ear.
Just
go. Like Peter did it in the garden. Yeah, like a Malchus.
Oh, that was definitely a top 10 moment for me. I just love other people's misfortunes.
Oh, the irony!
The irony of messing up the word people.
Other peepers.
I know. Other peepers. Well, I didn't say. I didn't mean people. I meant
the peepers.
Oh no! Here comes the gaslighting. I meant peepers.
I meant peepers.
Jeepers Creepers.
Peepers.
Speaking of Jeepers Creepers,
that was a very scary movie. It traumatized me. As a
I've
child.
never seen it. Really.
Traumatized.
I do not watch horror movies.
Yeah, I do.
They watch you.
This episode, you guys, is going to hit about the middle of October.
Yes.
And you guys know that October is known. Not only is it when fall flings. What do you say? You say spring has sprung, fall has flung. Is that right?
I don't know. That sounds dumb to me.
Fall's flinging stuff.
Flinging stuff. We didn't talk about shooting the Skybalon. We are shooting Skybalon right now.
Oh yeah. So for those of you that are just tuning in, shooting the Skybalon is a segment where we it's almost like shooting the blank. Like we have that little saying in the South, shooting the poop, but not the poop word.
Right.
Skybalon is the Greek word for dung.
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of talking right now, and then we'll
Our first segment every time is shooting the Skybalon.
But what are we doing this month?
This month, obviously, you guys know is Halloween, and so we're going to be talking.
Woo!
Dude,
That's as much as I could do without getting sued.
okay, nice.
That's well out of copyright.
Yeah,
like
it's
100
hundreds of
years.
years old, right? Yeah, did you know that? Anything over 100 years old is common use.
Oh, sweet. Well, we'll just play
Musically
toccata
speaking.
and fugue in D minor this whole episode. Then
The whole time. Just
there
going
for
in the background. But yeah, so we wanted to talk about, Christians and Halloween. We'll be doing some segments throughout this month talking about it. So
yeah, we're gonna talk about spooky stuff like the paranormal, demons, hell, Satan, Ooh, and Nosferatu. Anybody know who that is?
What?
No, I know who that is.
No.
It's the
It's like inspiration for Dracula.
for Dracula. It's like an old horror villain guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, that was shooting the Skybalon.
Wow, it was so much fun. I feel like the Skybalon has been shot. All right. Eric and I looked at each other. We're both like, wait, who goes?
We
I'll
breathed
go.
at the same time.
I'll go. This segment, you guys, is called Houston. Houston, we have a question. This is where listeners to the podcast, whom we affectionately call Sermonauts, have sent us an email or a text or a message through social media and asked us a question. And
Or at notthesermon@gmail.com.
That's correct. That's the email part. And so this is an email from a listener named Tommy. And I love the way he words this. This is one of the more interesting questions that we've received. And it goes with our kind of whole spooky theme. He says, Tommy says, I've heard you break down some wild passages on the podcast, so I've got a challenge for you. Okay. Challenge accepted. Tommy.
Challenge accepted.
Can you take a swing at these two haunting verses from Matthew? So this is Matthew 27, 52 and 53. This is during the crucifixion. The tombs also were opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised, and coming out of the tombs after... Way to interrupt the reading of the scripture, Eric.
It was spooky.
The tombs were also opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. Coming out of the tombs after his resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many. So this is the story of the zombie saints, Eric.
Yeah, zombie saints. When I was researching this question, I saw a Calvinist get offended at the concept of someone calling this a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
It was really funny.
That's kinda funny.
He did have a fresh beard, though, like a true Calvinist.
So a couple things. Well, actually, let me finish the email because it's funny. How he phrases this is good. He goes, I mean, I'm not saying this didn't happen, but it feels a little like man lives inside whale for a weekend territory.
Yeah.
You'd think if a bunch of resurrected saints were wandering through the streets of Jerusalem, at least one of the New Testament writers would have slipped it in somewhere. Well, Matthew did. Peter didn't mention bumping into his long-dead grandpa. And Paul doesn't seem to credit his conversion to seeing the city suddenly packed with formerly dead people. Well, so what do you make of this? Is it a literal zombie apocalypse situation, or am I missing something here?
I mean, what a heightened sense of awareness Tommy has, though.
Yeah.
Like, those are really great questions.
They are.
Those are like, that's true, like, exegesis questions.
Yeah.
Like, if this happened, wouldn't there have been other evidence elsewhere in Scripture in order to validate these claims?
Right.
So I'll let you take a stab at it. I have some thoughts on it, but
Sure.
I'll let you go for it.
Sure. Well, first of all, this happened after Jesus' resurrection. Okay. I actually said earlier it was during the crucifixion, but it's during the crucifixion passage.
Yes.
Right? And it says that they were saints that had died, were raised, coming out of the tombs. It doesn't say how many. There's at least two in order to be plural, right? But we don't. It's not like there's 50 or 100 or 500. It's not like there's this ton. And that's why I don't think it's fair to say it's a zombie apocalypse. It may have just been 2 or 3 people.
An anomaly.
That's all
So
it takes.
right. So
The virus. The rage virus.
Were they slow zombies or fast zombies?
it does.
They're
not
the World
say.
War Z zombies that like have the hive mind and like climb walls.
Dude, that's a terrifying
The
movie.
best
Yeah.
take on zombies
I
ever.
agree.
World War Z.
I agree. So here's the thing. How do we approach this? Like either is a symbolic explanation of resurrection and how it applies to the saints after Jesus resurrected, or it literally happened and it happened so that there might be communication through symbol, right? That's where I tend to go. You have several different things that happen. For instance, one of the things that happened during the resurrection, or during the crucifixion, as soon as Jesus died, the veil at the temple was torn in two. So I believe that literally happened, but it has figurative meaning.
Yes.
Right? And so the figurative meaning is that now the Holy Spirit is not confined to the Holy of Holies, but he is now available to meet with everyone because now the sacrifice, the penalty for sin has been
It's
paid.
a tearing of the old covenant.
That's exactly right. Another thing that happened is that there was essentially some sort of eclipse that happened as well during the crucifixion. I believe a literal happening that happened, but it's got symbolic or figurative meaning. Right? Is that it's fulfilling ancient prophecy about the moon being darkened, the sun being darkened, and it's also showing, hey, this is a dark moment. Right? This is a time to grieve. This is a bad thing happening. So I tend to, Eric, I think this literally happened. I don't think it was dozens of saints. I think it was probably 2 or 3 that rose from the grave temporarily to show that Jesus' resurrection also brings us resurrection. So there was a literal happening that brought symbolic meaning.
Yeah. Now, we agree.
So show me your heresy.
So we agree a lot more than I thought we would do.
Okay.
I think it's a ton of symbolic language that's going on.
Yeah.
I think he asked a couple questions like, how come this isn't mentioned by Paul and things like that? And I think it goes to the nature of the synoptic gospels.
Yeah.
Each of the synoptic means seen together,
right?
Which means Matthew, Mark, and Luke are supposed to be read together to get the full picture of the story of Jesus.
Yeah, John is sitting there off by himself, like with a crown and a scepter, looking
John
down
is
on
theology.
them. Yeah,
John was written after this. I mean, they're all written after it happened, but the purpose of the Gospel of John is to give us theology.
John seems to be filling in what he considers to be missing pieces of the synoptics.
Yeah, in light of the synoptics, these are what the synoptics mean.
Right, and that's why he focuses on the divinity of Jesus and the part of Jesus' life that's not covered by the synoptics.
Exactly. When you read the Gospel of John, what you're reading is what did Christians believe the first 100 or so years after the resurrection. That's where you get the Trinity, the divinity of Christ, all these things. But the Synoptic Gospels are telling us what happened. But even though they're all telling us what happened, they all had different goals.
Yeah.
Specifically, Matthew was directed more towards the Jewish audience.
Absolutely.
To try to prove that Jesus was the Messiah.
The Jewish Messiah.
The Jewish Messiah, exactly. And so in context there, if you keep on reading, it says the bodies of many godly men and women who had died. It says in the NLT, it says many.
Right.
But
you got to be careful with what that means.
Men and women. So was there a guy and a girl? I have to look at that Greek word and see if those are plural. But anyways, they left the cemetery after Jesus' resurrection, which that's kind of odd too. That means they were raised,
right?
But after Jesus' resurrection is when they left the tomb,
right?
To me that presents some issues. There's some theology about resurrection that Matthew didn't have yet,
right? That Jesus is the first. Yeah.
Right, and so there's I take some issues with that. But then what's the point of this? Verse 54: the Roman officer and the other soldiers at the crucifixion were terrified by the earthquake and all that had happened. They said, this man truly was the Son of God.
Yeah.
That is the point of what Matthew just said.
That's right.
To prove. So I believe that Matthew is using symbolic language, even something that may have been taught during the time. They call it the Matthean community, the people that would have been present during the writing of Matthew. Who is Matthew writing to? It's his congregation.
The Mattheans.
The Mattheans, right?
So are people here the Jameans?
Jameans.
And the Ericeans?
Well, they call the followers of Markians.
Markians.
So it's...
Well, I was baptized by Jamie.
And then John is John has an even cooler one. So they call the followers of John the Johannine community.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's what Matthew was trying to accomplish. He's trying to prove that Jesus is the Jewish Messiah. So I believe that he takes some poetic and creative license here to further prove his point. So I have a tendency to think that this might have been not necessarily a rumor, but maybe something that was going around during the writing of the gospel that the followers of Matthew believed, that Matthew possibly taught. But here's the thing. The other gospels have stuff like this too. So Matthew has the resurrection of the holy ones. Luke has the walk to Emmaus, which is not mentioned in any other gospel.
Right.
And John has the feasting of the fish with Jesus. So you have each gospel has its own little addendum.
Right.
Doesn't necessarily mean they didn't happen.
Right.
But it does.
No, I believe they did.
It shows you the angle of the writer. So I'm going to sit here and say, and call me a heretic, I'm going to say that did this happen? Did it not happen? I don't know. But what I do know is that this story metaphorically and symbolically reinforces the point of Matthew.
So I believe it literally happened, but I agree with you that it doesn't really matter if it literally happened, because the point is the information that it's giving us, which is that resurrection, that Christ said, I'm the resurrection and the life.
At the very least, theologically, it throws out this red herring of, well, isn't Jesus supposed to be the first that's resurrected from the dead? And if these people were resurrected, what do? Go back to their old lives?
But they were in Christ.
Well, they were in Christ, but did they die again? Are they just still walking?
They had new bodies?
Yeah,
did they have glorified bodies? It leaves too many questions. So I'm going to sit here and say, I don't think Matthew had his theology right. I think he is doing
hot take here.
Hot take.
Eric knows more than Matthew. You guys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I don't think
Let's
Matthew
demote him.
had a correct theology of the resurrection, but I don't think that what he said is unbiblical. I agree and
Well, it's literally in the
He wrote
Bible.
the Bible.
Yeah, it's true. I'm agreeing with what he's saying.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the purpose behind it. I'm just gonna say, did it literally happen? I don't know, but I don't think it matters.
So you're saying it doesn't have to have literally happened for the meaning to still be in place?
yes.
Right. Yeah. And I'm cool with that.
Because what do you do with the walk to Emmaus and Jesus feasting with his disciples? There's no other corroborations in the other synoptic gospels for those.
Well, you don't have to have corroboration as long as there's not an explicit contradiction.
Sure.
Right. So the existence of the walk to Emmaus in Luke doesn't have to appear in Mark or Matthew or John to be true.
Yeah.
Like it just has to appear once. Now, what does have to happen is there has to not be contradictory information that's because A cannot be A and non A at the same time.
I mean,
right?
and what he's saying is silence contradictory information.
Yeah, no. Silence is not contradictory. It just means that there's not specific corroboration. It's kind of like, so if we go home from today, and you go home to Sierra, I go home to Tiff, and our wives say, "How was the podcast recording today?" I may say, "Oh my gosh, Eric told this funny story about a communion cup in the bathroom." Right? You may go home and tell Sierra, "Oh my gosh, Jamie just looked so handsome today," and
Yeah, one of us is lying.
one of those is lying. But the fact that you didn't mention the communion cup doesn't mean it wasn't
It
said.
didn't happen, and I agree with that line of thinking. I'm always gonna, because what Matthew is saying doesn't really follow the resurrection theology of Paul, which you're pitting the Gospels against Paul. I kind of am.
Lazarus was raised from the dead before Jesus died.
Yeah, that's true. That's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't raised. It wasn't salvific resurrection.
It was like it was more of like a miraculous.
It was a sign that he was the Messiah.
And could these have been possibly?
And that's what I think. I don't think that's why I don't have a problem with this being literal, this happening, and it not interfering with Jesus being the firstborn, because it said it happened after his resurrection.
Yeah,
he's still the firstborn.
Well, why are they waiting around in the tomb though? Like, why?
Yeah, I mean that's
odd. It's.
I just think that this is one of the supernatural symbolic markers that literally happened, but they have symbolic meaning to help teach the people what was going on in this moment. I believe it 100% happened, but I don't. It doesn't have to 100% happen for the meaning to be true.
Look, in the words of SpongeBob, actually Patrick Star, I think it all comes down to wombology.
Wombology?
I wombo, you wombo, we all wombo.
Oh my
I have
gosh.
no idea what that means.
Yeah, so one of us is a heretic. You guys decide in the comments.
All right, guys, we are going into a little bit of shady theology, spooky edition.
Spooky. Woo.
Spooky edition. So we thought about the idea of, listener, if you're new, we always like to sing in trio style, not quartet, trio style, our Shady Theology little intro here.
Are we going to try to do it in minor?
I'm willing to try. The key is that my part's the only one that changes.
Oh, so I just do. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. So if y'all can do that, I'll try to switch from major to minor.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Me, 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 me. Shady Theology. Hey, I mean, right or wrong, it didn't sound bad.
I think
Sure.
that's as close as we're gonna get it.
Yeah. So for this Shady, did we talk about what it was? I forgot.
Wow, you have the memory of a goldfish, Eric.
I do. Well, Shady Theology is where we take something that is just like a theology or
A little bit shady.
Yeah, belief about God. That
about my shady.
seems good. Seems like it's okay. It's maybe even gaining popularity, but it's just a little bit shady. It's just there's something off about it.
Yeah, just be careful.
Yeah, you got to be careful around it.
Yeah.
You can't be sipping on it all the time. You can only sip on it on the weekends.
You got to nurse that thing.
You got to nurse it.
Okay.
I thought we weren't talking about Jamie's sermon
Just
on the podcast.
like universalism. You just kind of got to nurse on it sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Do not nurse on universalism.
Boy, you got to throw a shot. You got to throw a shot of universalism down there, baby. You got to do a little eternal conscious torment, and then you got to chase it with some universalism. Let's go.
So this one, man, this is a big topic. I don't know about you guys, but every year, huge. Every year on social media, a couple weeks before Halloween, everyone starts talking about.
That was disgusting, Jamie.
Everyone starts talking about whether or not Christians should celebrate Halloween.
Yeah.
And man, people are so emotionally tied to this, right?
On social media? No.
I know, right? And so, and it's funny, people will just say, any Christian that dresses up their babies as an angel for Halloween is
Straight to hell.
worshiping Satan.
Straight to hell for those
The
kids.
witches are laughing at you. And then other people or other Christians that are like, they like have a meat cleaver coming out of their head and like blood everywhere. They're like, what? There's no big deal. So what is the theology behind a Christian partaking in something like Halloween?
Well, Jamie, let me tell you, we will not partake in demonic activity. So what we're doing this year is we are not going to do a hell house. We're going to do a hallelujah house.
Hallelujah.
And we're going to invite people over, and we are not going to give them candy. We're going to give them biblically accurate granola bars from Ezekiel.
They have to bob for apples.
They're going to bob for apples, and we are going
And
to
Larry
learn
for cucumbers?
We're going to learn scripture. And we're going to praise God because we are not following any demonic stuff.
You know what's so funny to me is the Christian alternatives to Halloween are often just as, if not more, pagan.
Yeah.
Like a harvest party.
Yeah.
That's literally.
The pagan gods of harvest.
Yeah, that's literally what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Or like bobbing.
It's like we're going backwards.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
we're going back what Halloween really was.
It's like, I don't like Halloween, so I'm going to go towards nature. Well, that's what they're celebrating, like Samhain and all these like ancient festivals that supposedly, Halloween came from. They're all like about like the earth and the seasons and all that.
It's like, can I not? Like, who are you to tell me what I'm celebrating?
Yeah.
Like, even if I'm celebrating harvest, like, thank God for the harvest.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
a biblical idea.
I don't believe in some like Norse god who's burping up pumpkins or
so
something.
let's have our children stick their face in a big old bucket of water with apples in there and see if they can grab an apple with their teeth.
Dude, I do.
In honor of Eve for making us all sinful.
In my youth ministry days, I would fill up a bucket or a kiddie pool with water and ice and pickled pig's feet.
What?
And have them bob for pickled pig's feet.
No, that is demonic.
And pickled eggs.
That is demonic.
And you get like a brain freeze just from going to the water. It's terrible.
Deviled eggs.
Yeah, devil, Satan.
I won't even
We
eat
make
devil
angel eggs here.
I won't even eat devil eggs during the month of October. So, listener, what are we supposed to do with Halloween? So, the way I see it, here's the way I like to phrase this, is we can either receive it, reject it, or redeem it. Receive it, reject it, or redeem it. So what do I mean by that? So receiving Halloween means that like there's nothing wrong with it. Go do what you want to. Watch all the horror movies. So receiving Halloween would be just there's no big deal. I'm going to watch all the horror movies. I'm going to celebrate. I'm not going to worry about what costumes I'm wearing. I'm not going to talk to my children about fear and all the stuff going on and dead ghouls and I'm just going to, whatever. I'm just going to do that. Reject means that you will have absolutely nothing to do with it.
Jehovah's Witness style.
Right. Turn out the lights at your house. Don't give out candy.
I do that anyways.
Don't have anything to do with it. I feel, Eric, that receive and reject are both incorrect.
Yeah, I think if you are defining the categories, like that.
I just did.
Yeah, you did.
Well, you weren't listening. You were getting in some weird position in your chair.
I was stretching, Jamie.
You're worshiping some harvest demon.
But anyways, yeah. So put it in your categories, and I don't think the right thing is to either receive it or reject it. I think obviously you do have to redeem it. I mean, you don't have to be lame. Like, there's nothing more lame than a Jehovah Witness during someone's birthday. You know, like,
I don't celebrate birthdays.
Why? Why not? You know, it's going on. I don't think we have to. You don't have to engage the culture on their level. And honestly, if you feel it's a matter of conscience too.
It is.
Like, if you don't feel like you want to, because I understand that some people have had way worse, more demonic experiences with Halloween than others.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally haven't. I remember growing up as a kid and trick-or-treating and dressing up, and it was fun. For us, it was never about like demon worship. It was just about having fun.
You think that's why you're a universalist, because you celebrated Halloween?
I'm a universalist because I sin a lot. But yeah, so
listener, I feel like we need to say Eric is not a universalist.
Sometimes I am.
I'm trying to help you out.
He's trying to help me
from getting emails. I can't believe.
Don't help me. Let go. I'm hanging on a ledge. Just let me go. Let me go.
See, I thought of hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking.
Just push me, Jamie. Push me into the depths of Heresy. I'm just kidding. But anyways, back to, I'm not a universalist, guys. Only sometimes. When it's convenient
only
to me.
on Tuesdays at 4 p.m.
Yeah, only when it's convenient to me. I hope people know I'm kidding. But anyways, so yeah, Halloween, I'm going to redeem it.
Yeah.
I'm going to redeem it. I'm going to go to the church fall festival.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy my daughter a bumblebee costume. I'm going to do candy. I'm going to leave candy outside my door if I can. Candy's freaking expensive.
Yeah,
if I can afford candy this year, I'll leave it outside. If not, I will turn the lights on. Screw you guys, don't come down my road. But yeah, I'm all about redeeming. What about you, Jamie? What are you thinking?
No, I even framed the questions in a way that
exactly. You just engineered it.
I made
right.
receiving
Jamie
and rejecting.
engineered a whole question for him to be right. I love it.
No, not to be right, but to illustrate a point where receiving.
Yeah.
I mean, so here's the problem, and I look, demons are real, and you don't want one. Like, I get it. And horror movies, the stuff the macabre that we celebrate.
Hey, look, scabies are real, Jamie, and you don't want them. All right.
Is macabre what you get after you eat some corn?
Yeah,
you're left with
what
macabre.
You're left with macabre. But the macabre stuff that happens, like the horror, the fear, the violence, that's gross.
Yeah.
Like that is unbefitting of a Christian to sit there and feed yourself with movies where people are being bludgeoned to death, limbs are being ripped off, all that kind of stuff.
You're watching like Saw, doing a Saw marathon.
I mean, seriously, like that kind of stuff happens, and that should 100% be rejected, right? Yeah. That's really gross. It's not kingdom. It's not God. Okay. Yeah. At the same time, to then say that your little kid dressed up as Buzz Lightyear asking for candy, to say that's worshiping Satan is stupid, right? It's not worshiping Satan, right? Yeah. And so I just get really frustrated with the extremes where people like pay no attention to their spiritual lives during Halloween and are just like, whatever, man. Or the people who think that doing anything on the night of October 31st. Like, we used to have a fall festival here, and we did it on the 31st on purpose so that we would provide like a trick-or-treating alternative.
And then we got overrun by people, and it was like this. And
it just got too big. We couldn't handle it.
Over 1,000 people showed up.
We couldn't handle it.
Wild.
And my volunteers begged me. My team was like, please, let's never do this again.
Never want to do that
And I was
again.
like, okay. But so I just want to make sure people understand. We would get people in the church, outside the church, would say, I can't believe you are having your fall festival on the 31st. You are celebrating Halloween, Pastor Jamie.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. You don't get to tell me what I'm celebrating.
Well, I heard something really wise the other day. It was a guy was talking about, to those people that are at the extreme, orthodoxy looks like heresy.
Yeah.
To the people that are in the far left and far right, the middle looks extreme to them.
Yeah.
And so that's why you get people who like are on the, hate Halloween, don't want to celebrate, it's demonic, talking poorly about people that do choose that redemption part.
Judging.
And then the people that are like full in, like, let's worship Satan, let's watch Saw movies.
No big deal.
No big deal. It's not going to do anything. Let's do a Ouija board tonight.
Right.
Those people that do a fall festival, that seems weak.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And so, but like to the people that are on the extremes, that middle path is always, it's going to look extreme to them.
And I'll say this too, you know, for your great Aunt Mary who posts this big long thing about the history of Halloween, the history of Halloween is convoluted at best.
Yeah.
We do not know. All right, you've got the Catholic Church interjecting All Hallows Eve, right, which was the night before All Saints Day, where you venerate the saints. You've got
which
right, which is iffy,
which is questionable,
right? You've got Samhain.
It's pretty rock and roll,
which is like a pagan festival.
Yeah.
Then you've got like the Druids that were doing stuff. And then you also have ancient Christians who are like redeeming this time and using the time of Halloween to say, Satan, you don't have us. We have conquered you. We have authority over you.
Tradition is important. Tradition like places God at the center of your time, especially if you're able to redeem a holiday like that. But to me, it's like the same people that reject Halloween don't celebrate Pentecost either.
Right.
You know,
right,
it's like,
right.
you know, what are you celebrating? Like, that's why you look at the Jewish calendar. They had festivals and
festival every other week,
celebration,
bro.
Yep.
But what it did was it oriented their time around God.
Right.
And so I'm all for taking something like Halloween and redeeming it and making it about Jesus, making it about God, making it about saints or whatever,
right,
to reorient our time around the Lord.
Well, and I encourage you, listener, like spend time with your family. Do something for your neighborhood. That's how you redeem these things, not by, you know, turning out the lights and sitting there and praying in a corner while you're in the fetal position. Please, no demons hurt me.
And buy name brand candy too.
That's beneath the stature of a Christian. You have authority. Now, we don't need to be foolhardy and act like we can do whatever, right? We don't want to give the devil glory, but at the same time, don't run in fear from a holiday. That's just ridiculous. You have the Spirit of God in you. Ask him what he wants you to do on October 31st and be a light to your community.
Yeah. And don't get the Sweet Tarts variety pack. Get that out of here. That's cheap. Don't buy the little $100,000 bars.
Yeah.
Get those out of here.
Yeah.
Milk Duds. Nobody's eating Milk Duds.
Give them to me.
Get those out of there.
I mean, Milk Duds.
Get some Skittles. Get some Starbursts, Snickers, Baby Ruths. You know, get some Kit Kats, Butterfingers. Don't buy that cheap candy.
Yeah.
Tootsie Roll. Get that Tootsie Roll out of here.
Dude, the multi-flavored Tootsie Rolls, I'm cool with.
Dude, they are.
Yeah,
they are good. The lemon, the vanilla, those are pretty good.
And for the love of all that's holy, Christian, why don't you toilet paper some houses while you're at it?
TP some houses.
Yeah, throw some eggs at a
Get
few
them out of here. All right. We are moving into our final segment here. This is a segment we call Weird News, where we do some live reacts to some strange things going on in the world. Or nor.
Or nor.
So this is a BBC article, and so it says...
Are you going to explain that at all?
Or nor.
Nor.
It's how Australian people say
I know, but you didn't say that.
Or nor. Well, people, I'm like, we know, Jamie. It's you that don't know.
I don't know.
Or nor, a computer virus. So this is a BBC article. It's BBC News Sydney, and Sydney, Australia. For those for those that you don't know, Australia is it's a country
and a continent.
And Oceania, is that correct? Oceania. Why is there an I in it then?
I don't know. Maybe it is Oceania.
Listeners, which one of us is stupid?
Both.
Probably both of us. Okay, so anyways, title of the article says, How a Stale $17.50... Oh, wow, just got an ad. Are you kidding me in the middle of that? How a $17.50 cookie, stale cookie... It's not even loading now.
I'm looking up, while you're figuring out how to work your phone, I'm looking up continents, and it says Australia is a continent, not Oceania, but it also says that sometimes Europe and Asia are considered one continent called Eurasia. Hey, Eric, I could see Eurasia.
Eurasia. All right, so here it is. How a stale $17.50 cookie sparked a social media storm. Have any of you guys had the Crumbl cookie yet?
Oh,
it's pretty good.
So I did a Crumbl cookie review the other day with a buddy. It was hilarious, and honestly, it was underwhelming. Crumbl Cookie is a cookie company. They have a limited menu. The menu changes, I think, every week. You go there and they have what they have, and they're supposed to be like really gourmet cookies, and they're only currently being sold in the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah.
And so this is what happened. Set against.
By the way, let me just say my family, in particular, my wife and my youngest son and my daughter, so my family, they absolutely love Crumbl. They're obsessed with it.
Your family's weird. They go from eating like kale chips to Crumbl cookies. What's the deal with that?
That's exactly how my wife is. She's either super healthy or like super like sugary desserts.
She's like, today I'm eating seaweed extract.
Yes.
And then I'm followed by a Philly cheesesteak cookie or whatever they make. So anyways, all right. So set against the backdrop of cliffside mansions, bronzed bodies, and vast ocean views.
Sounds like my backyard.
Bundy is the go-to suburb for international brands looking to launch down under.
Down under.
So anyways, so when news broke on TikTok that a Crumbl cookie pop-up was coming to Sydney's iconic beachside, so that's Bundy Beach.
Ted loves that beach.
A few raised questions. So people were excited. They heard all these bulbous Americans stuffing their mouths
Bulbous Americans.
Crumbl cookies. They're coming here with a host of famous fan, the U.S.-based bakery, blah, blah, blah. But when Australian foodies sunk their teeth into the treats, outrage spread like wildfire. Wildfire. After it became clear that they were eating days-old goods sold by a few enterprising locals with no connection to Crumbl, who had brought the cookies back in suitcases from Hawaii.
Wow.
Adding insult to injury was the eye-watering price tag. I've never had a price tag make my eyes water. But
unless it hit me in the eye.
Yeah, unless like scrape my cornea.
Right, yeah.
With consumers paying $17.50 Australian for the stale snacks, which had aged inside the belly of a commercial airline. They're calling it Crumblgate, or the Great Cookie Controversy. So all these people in Australia were excited to sink their teeth into an American Crumbl cookie, only to find out that they had been bamboozled. So apparently somebody flew to Hawaii, packed a bunch of Crumbl cookies into a suitcase, flew them back over and started selling them
for like $12 a cookie US.
$12 US. Yeah. And so how do you feel about this? Do you think these people got what they got, or do you think that there is like really a controversy? Like, is this Crumblgate?
I mean, there's a controversy just because people's expectations weren't met, right? I mean, I get it. Like you're excited. You've heard about Crumbl cookie. It's all the rage. You finally get one and it tastes like garbage, and you realize it's not Crumbl cookie. It's someone buying Crumbl cookies and shipping them across the
taking like
country.
A 2-day journey from Hawaii to Australia.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I don't know that it's like
it's not newsworthy. So thank you, BBC.
I read an interview from the people that did it.
Yeah.
And they said that they were upfront with everybody that they are not Crumbl cookie, and that they had imported them, and B, that Crumbl Cookie's website says that they're fine to consume within like 3 days, and that they followed all of their instructions to reheat them within the time frame. Therefore, like, it's not like they sat there for a week.
But was Crumbl cookie, like, are they making them with the thought that it's going to be in a commercial airliner at 50,000 feet at, sub-freezing temperatures for that? I mean, or maybe the sub-freezing.
So here's the thing, and that's what their interview said, is Crumbl Cookie's not popping it out of the oven and handing it to you. They're baking them, sticking them in a freezer, and then microwaving them and handing them to you, which is exactly what these people did.
Yeah.
And
so I think this is one of those. So,
but did they have the license for resale though? They can't?
Do you need a license for resale?
I'm assuming you're importing a food. Of course, you need some sort of license, and plus, that'd be like me, going and buy. I mean, I can't just go and resell certain things. Like I can't go to Costco, buy the $1.50 hot dogs, and resell them in the parking lot for $2.
You've clearly never seen a New York street corner.
I was about to say, or Amazon even. People resell stuff all the time, dude.
Sure.
eBay.
It may be technically illegal.
Look at these guys. I'm siding with a customer. If I paid $17.50 and I was eating an old Crumbl cookie, I'm going to be upset.
I would be upset too. I would say if they are up front from the very beginning and they say, look, we are not Crumbl cookie. We have bought Crumbl cookies and we are reselling them.
It sounds like they weren't upfront about that part of it. They're probably like...
They said they were.
I don't know, dude. I'm going to have to read some articles.
It's kind of like if y'all been to a hotel and it says serving Starbucks coffee, but it's not Starbucks. They just bought Starbucks coffee and they brewed it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, this doesn't taste like a Starbucks because it's not. It's just their ground coffee, through a coffee maker. So,
not that Starbucks coffee is great.
I agree. But yeah, What you doing over there, Eric?
I'm continuing to read the story. They're apologizing they didn't live up to the expectation. I'm like, what did you think, though?
I know.
What did you think? You shipped up hundreds of cookies in the belly of an airliner and like reheated them. They're not going to be great.
Once again, that's what Crumbl Cookie does in their stores.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to.
I don't know that I believe
more.
you.
Yeah.
I thought they kind of created. At least some of it was created in store.
I thought they baked.
They bake them in store, but then you can't bake like.
Well, it's limited. Their whole thing is it's limited. It's what we have is what we have. We're baked fresh. So I don't know. I think
it may have been break fresh that morning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I can't defend the people in Australia when they're not doing what Crumbl Cookie in the U.S. does and pushing it off as Crumbl Cookie.
Well, but they're not a franchise of Crumbl.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know. As long as they say what they are.
Well, here's what I'm
beware.
like. Hey, if you have any stale food, Phoenix will buy it from you full price. So there you go. Has no problem with it.
Well, and what do the kangaroos think about all this? That's what I'm concerned about.
The kangaroos are out there like starting mobs.
They're stuffing them in their pockets.
They're starting street gangs, and they're out there. Have you seen how buff those jokers are?
Yeah,
they kill people.
Oh, dude, crikey, man! Let me get a kangaroo. I'll tell you what, I want a little roo meat. Let me get a roo. You ever had a roo foot cooked over a party?
I'm pretty sure I've had kangaroo ribs.
One day I was eating a roo foot, and it got stuck in me throat, or whatever they call it. They probably call it
my gullet.
Got stuck in me tummy tunnel, eh?
Tummy tunnel.
So, anyways,
my Hagenschwackel.
What are they, German now? Are they Deutsch? So that's our weird news for
This is great
today.
That was great.
We're landing this plane, eh? We're landing this plane, and we got a bunch of stale Crumbl cookies that we're going to sell to Phoenix later, and he's going to love them.
Yeah, Phoenix is over here hacking up a lung in between segments.
Talking about how much he loves stale food.
Got some stale food in my throat.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
So yeah,
listener, you need to know when Eric was doing his Aussie accent, like he was full bodying that thing, like he was embodying this like Australian man.
It's like Crocodile D on meth.
If you want to, they call me Crocodile Dun Q. I don't know why. But if you want to become the bloke, you gotta embody the bloke.
Yeah. So I mean, he became that character. It was pretty impressive visually, just seeing it happen.
I live in Bondi Beach and I eat sand.
Yep. Well, listener, we hope that you enjoyed this episode. We're gonna.
I hope you did too. If you like it, do something about it.
Yeah.
Rate it, review it, do all the things that send more listeners our way.
Yeah, don't keep it to yourself, man.
Like if you are listening to this podcast and you haven't rated the podcast, it's so easy. You literally just open your app and then hit the star. Mm-hmm. Hit the star. Give us a
1
rating.
star.
No, you can give us 5 stars.
Yeah.
5 stars. Hey, and also if you review us, like leave some suggestions. If there's something that we could do better, we want to do it better. So, or send us an email.
Yeah, send us an email for that. Don't put that on the review. Love the podcast. Hey, would you consider?
Hey, put it on the review.
Yeah, send us the email.
All publicity is good publicity.
Not the sermon at
gmail.com.
gmail.com.
And so, yeah. Thank you for listening to
Not the Sermon.
Hey, give me some sand.
Thanks for listening. This podcast is a production of Victory Fellowship Church in Thomasville, Georgia. Eric and Jamie can be reached at emailing notthesermon@gmail.com.
Father to the fatherless, defender of the little kids, gracious and compassionate.